Hey everybody, it's Amber. I am going to be going over day 2 of Sculpt January. The concept was mood delight, so I went with a kid eating an ice cream cone because who doesn't love ice cream? I love ice cream, even though I discovered a couple years ago I shouldn't love ice cream. So, to start off with this one, I decided to do metaballs because I took a course once upon a time that did use metaballs to kind of lay out your things, and then something happened. I don't know what happened, but it was very complicated to do those metaballs, so I ended up Googling a lot of things. Wasting time, just, you know. Then I was like, okay, let's figure this out and clean up the mesh before we get started. Didn't work out. It was a really bad attempt. Everything was just lumpy. So I started over. It's like, alright, we're going back to just circles and things. So then I sculpted a pretty decent little armature doodad holding an ice cream, and I was like, this is gonna be great! I'm so excited to do this. Except I didn't realize while I was excited doing this that eventually it was going to be my downfall. So I did booleans to kind of make them all one mesh. I didn't think about designing the ice cream cone and the arms separately, which I probably should have done in retrospect, but I spent a lot of time cleaning up after I did all of these boolean unions, and well, yeah, this one also took almost 6 hours. So fun fact, my first face sculpt was an attempt to do an Audrey Hepburn's face sculpt. Turned out terribly, but I was kind of excited to do this because I had taken a couple other sculpting classes and had watched a couple of other people way more talented than I am doing speed sculpt, so I was like, oh cool, I kind of remember some of the things that I had watched but never actually used. And so I started using it and got a closer design there with laying out some of the face mesh a little better, but I kept running into an issue with the lips. The lips just looked like a really weird 90s cartoon. It was like a mix between Hey Arnold animation and Rugrats animation, and then there was just this line that was constantly under the dude's nose, and I didn't know what I was doing. It was actually pretty hysterical. I remember laughing a lot while I was trying to figure out the mouth situation because, yeah, at certain angles it just didn't look right. But eventually I was like, alright, if I can get this crease in the tongue to look great, I won't have any problems. So I got there close-ish, and then got really distracted with, oh, I probably need to add muscles to the face, and so I started doing that. And then I got distracted with the ear. Also, I don't know what kind of ear that is. It's some kind of weird cauliflower ear situation. Then I stressed out about the eyeballs because I don't really remember how to do eyeballs. And that took a second to kind of decide what element. I was like, you know what, let's just embrace this cartoon mouth situation and just fucking commit. So, went with some wackadoo little eyeballs. And then that's when I was like, alright, let's work on this ice cream cone because time is running out. I gotta get over this shit. And then that just went downhill. There weren't enough polygons in specific areas to make it look like an okay ice cream cone. And then I just went overboard with like the meltiness, and then it just looked like a sad, weird thing you find in the ceiling of caves. So then I gave up on the ice cream cone and I started working on the clothing, which then became, I don't know how to do clothes. I don't even like wearing clothes, so why? Why should this person wear clothes? So then that's when I started to realize that I didn't have enough loop cuts on the forearms and the upper arms. So I was like, oh, I can just go in and add them, right? That's how it would work? No, it just destroyed the sculpt information. And so I was like, you know what? Fuck the body. And I just got rid of the ice cream cone and the body and was like, we're just gonna do a head and some shoulders. Because that's allowed, right? It's just not supposed to take very long. Let's do this. So then that actually gave me a little bit more confidence to focus on the face. And then I got really ambitious and decided, okay, I'm gonna do some hair. Let's do some hair. And it's like, all right, this could be a hat instead of some hair. And it's like, no, we're gonna do some hair. It needs to be a girl with some pigtails. And so I just kind of winged it. Didn't really know what I was doing. Definitely didn't want it to look as blocky as it turned out to be, but ended up looking up some tutorials, and I don't even remember which tutorials I watched, but clearly I progressed a little bit better afterwards, and then got even more ambitious and decided she needed 2 ribbons, because ribbons in pigtails is a staple. And that was also a situation where I didn't have enough polygons, but I fucking made it work. So then pretty much just the draw tool. I think the draw tool and the crease tool are my safety areas. My safe space. One day I might figure out the other tools a little bit more efficiently. But for now, that worked. On the bright side, because I did fuck up with the ice cream cone, I realized, oh, I should do the hair separately as a separate object, which actually worked out in my favor until I had to figure out how to combine them. But she turned out pretty good, and I think that for my second face sculpt, not too terrible. Pretty good. Thanks so much for watching. That is all for day 2. Be sure to subscribe. If you liked it, like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. If you don't give a fuck, who cares? So yeah, go ahead and check out our website at indiemutt.com for all of our other fun, exciting adventures going on in our world. Okay, bye.